Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mobb Guppy. The Guppy is the Mob. I just finished a bunch of cup of coffee. I had eggs, vegan sausage, a lot of Joe. Now I'm moving on to Diet Dr Pepper. Got to run to the grocery store a little bit. Just fed the fish. Life is good in the hood. How are you this morning? So I'm going on vacation next week, but I'm staying home as stay vacation. My sister doesn't want me over. Well, she's concerned her dog would kill Bolo. I don't think that would happen. I think she's being overly concerned, and I'm just not going to board him for several nights in a row. And there's really nowhere else for him to go. So I'm staying home. So you see, I had a choice: go spend Thanksgiving with family and spend a little money and put my dog into boarding, or stay at home with my dog. I chose the dog and the fish. It's all good. I met somebody in Bella Vista, Arkansas, which is about an hour away from here. He was driving from Oklahoma. He got some fish and some shrimp. So that's good news. I've sold so many shrimp, I have to not sell them for a while. I need to let the population grow. It's and by the way, when people go into the process of quote unquote breeding for profit, you've seen all these different videos. Hey, Scott's Aquatics. Good morning. So a lot of people go on, they say, the breeding for profit type of thing. You've seen a million YouTube videos for it. Let me give you sort of my deal. Um, I sell enough fish that it pays for the hobby. It's, I think where the money is with it is getting fish that are hard to breed and or unique and not available at this point in the U.S. market versus some strains of Asian guppies. But before you know it, everybody starts importing them, and they're expensive to import in the first place. So the process goes in is that this is a hobby. It's about being fun. The breeding for profit thing, and sure, there's a lot of people that do that. Is that and every fish I sell, by the way, comes from my fish room. I don't import. I don't go to and and there are people that do that, and I have no, I'm not criticizing them at all, but it's it's going in and the idea when you buy fish from a hobbyist, you sort of like the idea that the fish were raised in that person's fish room. So they've been there for generations. I'm like on generation 4 and 5 of swordtail guppies. I'm on generations 4 of the Roebuck Reds, and that's sort of the deal there. So the process comes in. Is that do this because you love it, and my deal is I pay for my hobby. I sell enough fish that I pay for my hobby. Is that I sold enough fish this month that I have food, frozen food. It's covering my electric bill. It's good. So and I think all of us want to do something that we love. That's Bolo's tail. And there's Zed. Oh, now he laid down. And when Bolo lays down, he plops. He just drops. It's not very far. It's about 2 inches, but when he drops, as he lays down. So so the process is for those folks, When I've seen so many videos about breeding for profit, they very rarely go into account, okay, boxing the fish up. How much time is that? Is that, for instance, is that if I deliver the fish to my fish store during my lunch break, or not to the mail at 9 a.m., it does not leave until that afternoon. So I have learned that I prepare my boxes on Sunday, and then when I get home, I box them up real quick. I bag them up and then take them to the thing. I've already printed every deal. I have everything in place. But it is because if I get my fish I get done about 1:30, 2 o'clock. If I have my fish to the mail by 3:30, it's ready to go. So that's sort of the deal there. We have 5 here. One thumbs up. Say hey, everybody. And I know this is a good time to lurk. A lot of people are going from there. Since I'm a morning person, I I go from there. So the dog woke me up at 4 a.m., which is my normal wake up time. I was just too tired. I just wanted to sleep some more. I took him for a walk, got him in. I slept for another about 2 hours before he woke me up again. Got up about 6:30. So, almost 2 hours ago. And I've cooked breakfast, I've had fish, done all that sort of stuff. I've walked him twice. What you're hearing in the background is the dishwasher. It's running. I think I have a radio on in the other room. You may hear that as well. So I'm going to go and once I'm done here, I've got to go get Thanksgiving food. Because if you get a frozen turkey, this is sort of the day you want to put it in the oven. And I may do on Tuesday, I may do my turkey recipe and with the dressing. And so from there, Chris John, Logan, how y'all doing? Good morning. Now it's early on the West Coast there, Logan. So it's just and I'm going to do a lot of stuff in the fish room during my days off. And I'm sort of looking forward to that. Get some things in place and go from there. So again, talking about this idea of breeding for profit. Not as early as 4 a.m. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so the process comes in is, again, if I see another video about breeding for profit, is that, to really do it right, you have to have a rare plecostomus that everybody loves is hard to breed. You have to have, it's just about supporting the hobby. My deal is that if I go through and I make 20 bucks every once in a while of profit, winner, chicken dinner. This is not how I make my living. This is sort of sort of a thing that I do because I love it. And I have an uncle who restores 57 Chevys. He's 81, and he's always restoring at least one 57 Chevy. He owns a couple. He has a 4-car garage. He and his wife, their cars don't go in the garage. It's all for the collector cars. And so he goes through and they go on trips looking for parts. The internet has helped out on this, but this guy's been doing this. I just turned 50, and I remember him when I was a little kid restoring these vehicles. So he has a big. He loves them very much, and when he restores a '57 Chevy, I think he makes money. Um, what his deal is that he's made side money on forever, and I think this is something we all want to do. Is that he used to work for one of the big plumbing supply houses in in my hometown in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and he has industrial grade router, and he charges people a pretty reasonable fee to come over compared to a plumber. He charges like $50 cash, and he'll do sometimes 3 or 4 router jobs a day. He's bonded and insured. He's retired. So all of a sudden you're at dinner over at their house, boom, there they are. So the process here is that we all like the idea of the side hustle. The economy's been bad. It's you might as well do what you love. So LP Lurkin, what's up? Well, it's great having you here. Thanks for being in. Thanks for hitting a like if you have. Hey, William Pridemore, what's going on? Yeah, so the whole process about breeding for profit, you have to be a specialized person, as a specialized thing. Everybody, enough people want. Now, the beauty about like Aquabid and eBay and through YouTube is you can meet a lot of people who want to buy your stuff. So you can do reasonably well with it. You can sell stuff, and you can at least pay for the hobby. If you make a little bit of dough, that's fine. It would, but you have to have a certain amount of aquariums up and running. It's and I'm still waiting on my on the thing to redo my the back room there. I have to begin to think if I have to have an electrician come in. Oh my God, those are expensive as hell to run a couple of things. But I'm working that out. We'll get that going. So how many of you folks are going somewhere for Thanksgiving, or are you following the advice of some of our elected officials who say, do not be in groups of more than 10 people? So it's 6 people were locked down. Yeah, a lot of people are locked down. The process here is that you have, when everything is said and done, it's a virus. How can you control a virus? And believe me, I'm not an anti-masker. I wear my mask everywhere. Not while I drive, because that's stupid. So I go, just wash your hands, social distance places, you're in pretty good shape. Problem with Thanksgiving is you're with family and friends. Usually there's some sort of drinking involved, which of course takes down the inhibitions. And so, so that's the deal. I got invited somewhere for Thanksgiving, and then I never heard from the woman again. Someone I grew up with, who's sort of like me, divorced, nothing going on. And so she didn't reach back out. So I'm home. So I'll pick up my frozen turkey here. When I'm done with the live stream, I'll take a shower. Yeah, I haven't showered yet. But my hair's so short, you never would have known the difference. I'll take my shower, brush my teeth and all that good stuff, and head off to Wally World. pick up a small turkey, stuffing, onion, a couple of things for the turkey, and then get ready to go on to my next deal for the day. I've got to pick up. Now, this is how mundane I am. When people think about mundane live streams, found it right here. This guy give you some boring live streams. So I've got to go do that and get that in. So tomorrow I work and then I'm off. I may be here every morning in the next, except for tomorrow, for the next week, because just me and Bolo. I'm gonna eat, get stuff done. Then I've got to go through things in the house. I've got to do some stuff with aquarium stuff. I've got to. I'm adding to my tanks sponge filters, additional ones to some of my aquariums. So I've got to get that going. Yeah, so it's all good. Hey, Doug Gray is here, leader of the Illuminati. It's not Monday. It's Sunday morning. In fact, it's I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow night. We got a more normal Monday live stream, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Monday. So yeah, no, it's just me hanging out, spending time with you. So yeah, it's just getting stuff down, down. So Doug Gray, we've been sort of talking about, breeding for profit. There's been a million breeding for profit videos that people on YouTube have put out. And again, we all like the idea of making money on something we love. But, RB Animals, how are you? If you haven't hit a like on my, if you haven't subscribed, please do. 10 here. Good stuff. Yeah, most of these are really bad videos. And, I'll give you sort of a market thing, a supply and demand, if you will. Is that, you sell more fish of things that people want. So, for instance, you may keep things that may or may not have a big market. For instance, I keep the Amica splendens. Breeding for profit means you will allow iffy fish to live so you can sell them bad fins, bad spines. Well, there are some guppy people that do that, Doug. You're right. And again, it's the process here is that, I keep Amica splendens. Okay, not a big market for Amica splendens. I hate to say this. Farrell's Fish Room, good morning. But I keep them because I like them and I like the idea of saving a species. And if I'm able to share them with people, I want a small amount of money, not a lot, just to do the expenses that are going through it. But if you're going to breed for profit, get something where there's a market for them. And the deal is about what's the hot fish today is not the hot fish tomorrow. For instance, there was one of these Asian strains, the Thai metalhead cobra blacktail, really a nice fish. And about 2 years ago, that thing was hotter than a pistol. People were selling those things and people were paying top dollar in the United States, for that deal, who were, people who didn't want to ship fish in. And now they're everywhere. They're a gorgeous fish, but, their top end is over with. It just is. Diet Dr. Pepper. That's what I'm drinking right now. I had like 8 cups of coffee. It's like, hey, brother, that's the way it is. I'm a true believer in Diet Dr. Pepper. True believer. That's good. So, yep, I love Diet Dr. Pepper. It's funny is that Diet Dr. Pepper, I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago, changed over to being really good. When I stopped drinking high sugar sodas, uh, you know, Diet Dr. Pepper wasn't really good to me. I was a regular Dr. Pepper and a Mountain Dew drinker. I had those going all the time. So I made the move to diet. It was Diet Pepsi for a long time, then Diet Coke. I'd go back before between Diet Coke and Diet Dr. Pepper is all good. Yeah, I saw the Dr. Pepper and cream soda with sugar on it, and I have to wait for the diet to show up. It's so when I lived in Alabama, I moved from Alabama about 17 years ago. They have a regional soft drink called Sundrop and Diet Sundrop. Let me tell you something. Wow. So when I was in Tennessee, a couple of years ago, I hit the convenience store and I picked one up, and oh my God, was it good? No, no moonshine and Sundrop. And I should have, and I didn't do it. Oh, you didn't like the Dr. Pepper cream soda? So I went in. I should have gone in and gotten a couple of 12 packs. I said, well, why don't I Amazon Prime that? Well, it ain't on Amazon Prime, or at least it wasn't at that time. And and let's see if it is right now. Diet Sun Drop. All right, Diet Sun Drop. Here we go. Okay, this is what this sells for. Diet Sun Drop on Amazon Prime for a 12 pack is $27, including shipping. Well, here's one that's $25 and some odd cents, including shipping. Yeah, it's so there are a lot of people who lived in that part of the country who moved and went from there. By the way, for unusual, just looking here, for unusual soft drinks, they're not all over the country. They are going through. I had the Diet A&W cream soda, about a 2 liter for like $1.25 or whatever I paid for it. Someone is selling a 4-pack of Diet A&W cream soda for $37, including shipping. Well, hell's bells. I could do that. Select Pat, good morning. The Noxkey Tanks, good morning. Happy Sunday. Good Sunday morning. Yeah, so Diet Sundrop is really good. Let me go to eBay just for grins and see how much they're selling Diet Sundrop there. I'm going to Alabama in a couple of days, or in a couple of weeks. I'm going to go there, and trust me. Oh my God. 4 12 packs of Diet Sundrop $90 including free shipping. $90 including free shipping. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a scam. If you can find Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda, I have a feeling you can sell that. Let's see if I look it up. Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda. Oh yeah, here we go. $24 for a 12 pack. Free shipping. Yeah, that's a heck of a deal. Now at Amazon, let's see what they're doing that for. I wish they had it on, Prime. Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda. Okay, here we go. $32 free shipping for a 12 pack. What a scam. What a scam. Yeah, I've had Cheerwine. It's not my favorite. Big Red in Texas is pretty good. It's there are these regionals around the country that are pretty good. When I was a kid, and I don't know if you guys had this as all, remember like at family gatherings, they had like the Shastas. I spent a few months in Vegas. This is like 3 years ago. And I went to the Sam's Club. And they had Shasta. And we always had that when I was a kid. My parents did not have soft drinks in the house ever. And so the only time we had it as a kid is that if you earned allowance, you'd go down to the corner store, which is about a mile away, and you'd get, whatever pop you wanted to get. So there was, but at every family gathering, they had all the Shastas, the orange, the grape. And my brother, sister, and I drank that like it was like you were stuck in a desert and you hadn't had water in 3 days. I mean, just gug, 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 gug. Yeah, RC Cola is definitely a regional thing. By the way, when I was in South Carolina, to talk about Cheerwine, there was a barbecue place that made their own Cheerwine barbecue sauce, to put on. The Carolina barbecue is a lot of it is pulled pork, which is great. Alabama has the same sort of thing. And when you go to ribs, it's dry rub ribs. It's if you're gonna have the authentic regional sort of thing. But there was one barbecue place I went to when I was in Greenville that had Cheerwine barbecue sauce, and it was great. You put on a pulled pork sandwich, amazing. Never hold a Cheerwine till the cookout came to Kentucky. But you think about this: if you're making your own barbecue sauce, and you're cooking it up and, getting all in place, the idea of something like Cheerwine or something like, Sundrop or Mountain Dew or what have you would add that certain flair to the barbecue sauce. I've had moonshine, Doug Gray. Excuse me. I'm gonna hit. Hold on. Okay, I think I'm good. So the Cheerwine, well, it's moonshine. When I lived in South Carolina, there was one of the staffers. I lived right at the border. I was in Greenville, South Carolina. So about a half hour from where I lived, one of the staffers had a house up in the mountains, and it just across the border in North Carolina. What happened to ale 1 through 7? Yeah, it was bad ale, bad stuff. So they went in and talk about delicious. He said, yeah, he goes, sometimes moonshine go from there. So he would buy moonshine from a guy. He knew a guy that made shine. So he picked up shine and he soaked fruit in it. So for like 24 hours before the party, it was like strawberries, blueberries, oranges. He soaked them, and so raisins, and you didn't want to do prunes because everyone would be lined up to use the restroom. And it was good. It was really, really good. You never see 7-Up anymore. I'll tell you what, it's that because of God, stupid COVID, there has been real problems. My Diet Dr. Pepper, there was a period where I didn't see it for like 2-3 months. I was drinking Diet Coke for a few months. Or Diet Iced Tea or Diet Tea. Lipton has one that's really, really good. Yeah, I've not had an issue getting Diet Dr. Pepper or not Diet 7-Up or 7-Up here. I always see it. I usually have something without caffeine in the fridge, usually in the 2-liter bottles. And right now I have, again, just going into the mundane Diet Sprite, which is about the same as Diet 7-Up, pretty much the same thing. Now, somebody who hates Sprite or hates 7-Up will tell me, it's like creating a great argument. So I went and had, just the whole deal about Sprite and all that sort of stuff. It's all good. Oh, a late one. A late one. Yeah, a late one. Yeah, that's great. By the way, is it just me? But are people overusing puns? I appreciate a good pun. I like a good pun. But I've just noticed like a cavalcade, a covey of puns, a preponderance of pun use. And it's like, no, you don't use that many puns. It's, I'm talking about this. There's a car dealership when I lived in Little Rock, in Little Rock, and it was Bale Chevrolet. It says, "You've got Bale." Yeah, but Doug, you tell a joke, but you don't tell that many. I mean, real bad puns. And they're so, and again, a clever pun, I have no problem with. No problem at all. But, I swear to you now, every show on ESPN is a show with a pun. Yeah. So who knows? Do you know what? I've never seen a Crazy Eddie ad because I was in the Midwest and the West Coast when he was big. Oh, I'll watch one or two of those puppies. But it's like seemingly every show on ESPN these days is it's it gets overused. I'm just saying that. A good one is a good one. People sometimes, I swear to you, especially on these stupid TV shows, they overthink it. They're sitting in a room for hours trying to come up with it. Uncle Floyd's show stuff is on YouTube. I've heard about Uncle Floyd. I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll have to watch some of that. A lot of those old shows, by the way, I was just, I'm just old enough to barely remember, the kids shows that used to be on TV, and some of them, I swear to you, are just, I've seen clips of them, and it was just going from there. There's more people out there nowadays who think that geniuses, modern PC says public can't tell them they're real dumb. Yeah, so Bolo is sort of, you can probably see one of his feet over here. He's totally out. Totally out. So, yeah, the other thing is that, yes, I'm beginning to I have a report due tomorrow at work. Now, where in Kentucky are you, Select Pet? Are you near uh, Ohio, Tucky, or are you in the middle of the state near Louisville, Lexington? Yeah, I don't know if they actually play in Kentucky or not. You're further south. You're 62 miles north of Tennessee on I-75. Lexington is about 110 miles away. Okay. Yeah, it's I've driven through Kentucky. The last time I drove into Kentucky, when is the last time I drove through? It's been a while. I can remember I was like, my sister had gotten married, and her husband was in the service, and they were in Cherry Point, North Carolina. And I went down for Thanksgiving before Bolo, before a dog type thing. So I left I was living in Minneapolis at the time, and this is when computers are relatively new. I had an IBM 256 or whatever that was. So I I went to Egghead Software and I paid $50 for software on how to do a map. I'm not joking. This is the way it used to be. So I go and I print out directions. And so I drove, through Kentucky, through that. Let me see. Let me do this thing just because I want to. And it sent me through all these little towns in Kentucky. And it was kind of neat to see, but it took forever. So starting point, Minneapolis. Ending point, Havelock, North Carolina. Yeah, so it's like a 20-hour drive. And I left at like 10 p.m. or something like this. And I reached Havelock at I think I arrived at like midnight because you have to stop and stuff like that. And I think I actually took like an hour nap along the way. When back in those days where you could go to a nice rest stop and get some rest and take a snooze without worrying about being robbed. It was a great time in America. Well, so I'm pulling through these small towns in Kentucky. And apparently this was like a weekend where people were raising money for their favorite charities. And I sat there, or for the firemen. So the firemen were in every little town holding up boots, and it took like forever to get through these small towns. So all I can do is remember that, I like gave money to the first couple, and then just went from there. So yeah, it's amazing how that works. Yeah, you know what, Doug Gray, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. You go into those small little towns and go from there. I have a buddy of mine who he's a really big shutterbug. He's a very good photographer. And he's not so he's amateurs for his own thing. He took a 2-week vacation driving on small side roads, driving town to town in the middle of nowhere. He was in small town Illinois, Iowa. Uh, he went to small town Nebraska, Kansas on the strip. He put a bunch of these pictures up on his Facebook page. It was fascinating, because if he saw an interesting barn, he'd just stop and take a bunch of pictures. And his deal is it was just him just driving through, visiting those diners, visiting those types of things. One of the things I miss about New Jersey is that those diners are everywhere, and it is, and they're fantastic. I mean, really, really good. So I love those diners and going in and doing that and being and real Americana. That's what it's all about. And sometimes these people in the middle of nowhere are the sweetest, nicest people, and the food's usually pretty good in those diners. It usually is really pretty good. Occasionally you'll find one that sucks, but it's generally if there's a lot of cars at it, it means it's pretty good. Usually means it's pretty good. All right, gang. I've got to take a shower and do some shopping, do some stuff around the house. We'll see you tomorrow night. Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It is the Mob Guppy Normal live stream. All right, gang. Thank you so much. And I hope all of you have a great Sunday. Be safe.